Welcome to the Nevis Newscast for Friday, January 26th, 2018. I am Aphrodisia Liebert. The opening session of the Nevis Island Assembly will take place on January 30th, 2018 at the Assembly Chambers at Hamilton House from 10 a.m. The announcement was made by Clerk of the Assembly, Myra Williams, on January 24th, 2018. During the sitting, the throne speech will be delivered by Her Honor Marjorie Morton, Acting Deputy Governor General for Nevis. The oath of allegiance will be taken by members of the Nevis Island Assembly, and the President of the House will be elected. The parliamentary sitting, which was summoned by His Excellency Sir Tapley Seaton, Governor General of St. Kitts and Nevis, by way of a proclamation, following the Nevis Island Assembly election on December 18, 2017. The Assembly was dissolved on November 30th, 2017. Moments before the sitting, the Honourable Mark Brantley, Premier of Nevis, will inspect the Guard of Honour on the grounds of the Hamilton House. The House will then be called to order, followed by the formal entry of elected members. The official program says at the point prayers will be said, followed by a reading of the proclamation, oaths taken, and election of the President before the House is suspended to make way for the arrival of Her Honor Marjorie Morton. Once she gets to the chamber following the salutes and fanfare, the House will resume. At that point, she will be presented with the throne speech by Miss Williams. On conclusion of her delivery of the speech, the Acting Deputy Governor General will retire from the chamber and will be escorted to the door by the Sergeant at Arms. The newly elected President will then make an announcement, followed by any motions before the adjournment and benediction. Principal Education Officer in the Nevis Island Administration's Department of Education, Palsy Wilkin, recently implored the teachers of the Gingerland Secondary School to continue to encourage the students to put out their best efforts. Wilkin was delivering brief remarks at the Gingerland Secondary School's 45th anniversary Thanksgiving service held at the Gingerland Methodist Church on Wednesday, 24th January 2018. She also congratulated the staff, both past and present, as well as the students on their 45th anniversary.
I observe, thank, and commend the past principals and staff for the commitment and dedication over the years who would have laid the firm foundation on which we, the present staff and officials, continue to build. Present principal and staff, thanks for your continued dedication and commitment. Times have changed. 45 years ago is not what it was today. Yet, in spite of the challenges, you continue to make your valuable contribution to our nation's children. We do value your commitment, and we want to encourage you, with the help of God, to continue the work that you have been doing with our students.
The featured speaker for the morning's activity was Angelica Elliott. Elliott, who was a former teacher as well as student at the school, in delivering her address, featured a past student and current resident at Her Majesty's Prison, Marius Webb. In speaking to the students and offering advice, Webb outlined that while incarcerated, he obtained 5 Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate CXC subjects, 5 Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination CAPE subjects, and is currently in the process of obtaining an associate's degree in business.
I also teach other residents who are interested in learning, teach various schools, students from various schools, and adults. I have come to pass to teach officers. For our famous quote from Mr. Martin Luther King, "Intelligence rules the world, and ignorance bears the burden." My advice is you avoid ignorant choices, as well as choice you make today may determines who you may be tomorrow. So beware of your choices, make them positive.
The theme for the Lingerland Secondary School's 45th anniversary celebrations is Your Choices, the key component of the future youth. Minister responsible for the Department of Youth and Sports in the Nevis Island Administration, the Honorable Eric Evelyn, says he is pledging his support to any program that is geared towards the betterment of young people on the island of Nevis. Evelyn made this statement while he was delivering remarks at the recently concluded awards ceremony for the Circle of Peace Youth Program held at the Nevis Performing Arts Center on Tuesday, 23rd January.
And any program that is geared towards assisting our young people in St. Kitts and Nevis, we should all applaud and we should all support. And so I want to pledge my ministry's support to any program that is involved in the uplifting of our young people. I was particularly pleased to hear Mr. Gums, and it shows us that we should not condemn persons, but we should assist them in whatever way possible, because people can change and people do change, and that is what we should all encourage people to change for the better.
Evelyn commended the organizers of the Circle of Peace poetry competition for allowing the inmates to showcase their talents with hopes they would be an inspiration to others.
So I think this competition would have been an excellent way of telling persons here in the community what exists in there and why they should not be going there. And of course, the competition as well would have brought out all of the creativity in the inmates and would have inspired the inmates themselves to try to get out of that situation and try not to go back. So once again, I want to commend the program. And I said my ministry, my Department of Youth in particular, would be here, stand willing and able to support any programs that it gears towards the betterment of our young people.
The poetry competition was held under the theme, My Action, My Pain, You Wouldn't Like to Be Me. Still to come,
I would like to take this opportunity to encourage all women to take advantage of this free service.
the details after this break.
Hello, my name is Culturama, the Caribbean's greatest summer line. Most islands have their festival annually, but they call it Carnival. With all those shows, we fete and fun. We party from sun up to sundown. Everybody come now, show the world what we mean when we talk about Culturama. Rocks up, flags up, flags up. Time to wake up for the jam. We come in the early Juve morning. Rocks up, flags up, flags up. Time to jump up in the van.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Health in St. Kitts and Nevis on Wednesday, January 24th, issued an advisory following reports that the Ministry of Health and Environment in Antigua and Barbuda is presently investigating a case of measles that was recently imported into that territory. Measles is a highly contagious vaccine-preventable disease that is caused by a virus which is spread through coughing and sneezing. The main signs and symptoms of measles include high fever, runny nose, coughing, red and watery eyes, and characteristic skin rash, which starts on the face and generally spreads to the rest of the body, including hands and feet. The rash usually develops 3 to 7 days after the first symptoms appear. Measles is a highly infectious viral disease that can cause harm, particularly to very young children and adults. Affected persons can develop pneumonia and other serious complications. Anyone developing symptoms that could be related to measles is advised to go to the nearest health center or general practitioner immediately. The Ministry of Health in St. Kitts and Nevis is urging all parents and guardians to ensure that they and their children are adequately immunized against measles. The measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine is currently recommended in the National Immunization Program at 12 months and again at 18 months. If you are not sure of your child's vaccination status, the ministry recommends that you seek clarification at the nearest health center or your general practitioner. This advisory is intended to ensure that there is no in-country transmission of measles. Let us work together to ensure that the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis remains measles-free. St. Kitts and Nevis and all other Caribbean and Latin American countries were declared measles-free on September 27, 2016. In observance of Cervical Cancer Awareness Month, the Ministry of Health will be conducting, for the second time, an outreach activity that targets women on Nevis. We spoke with Coordinator of Community Nursing Services, Nurse Ermin Jeffers, who gave us the details.
This month, under the theme, Reduce Your Risk, the Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the Health Promotion Unit and Community Nursing Services in Nevis, will be having free cervical screening for PAPS or pap smear on January 27, 2018 at all the health centers in Nevis from 8 a.m. to 12 midday. Now, we are doing this because we realize that health centers are open from Monday to Friday, and we have persons in our communities who work Monday to Friday and are unable to access the service at the health centers. So because of this, we have decided to open on a Saturday so that those persons can come in and have their pap smears done.
As noted by Nurse Jeffers, all women who are sexually active should take advantage of the free screening.
I would like to take this opportunity to encourage all women to take advantage of this free service. And I would also like them to remember that early detection saves lives. And if detected early, cervical cancer is one of the most successfully treatable cancers. We have on the island of Nevis, Charlestown Health Center, located in Charlestown, Chapel Street, Brown Hill Health Center, Gingerland Health Center, Butler's Health Center, Combermere Health Center, and Cotton Ground Health Center. So all the health centers will be open.
According to Nurse Jeffers, the results of a pap smear are usually available within 4 weeks of the examination. Some 114 women benefited from last year's outreach activity. That's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I'm Fredicia Liebert. Thank you for viewing.
At a loss as to what's going on in Nevis? Tune into NNC on NTV. Don't worry if you don't have cable either. NNC will bring the news to you wherever you are. Facebook and Facebook Live. YouTube and YouTube Live. NevisTVOnline.com. Roku app, NTV mobile app, Smart TV, Apple TV, and any other IPTV platforms. When me ANC and you ANC, NNC.